Hello everyone, and welcome back to Mass Effect Andromeda. This is episode 18. Last time, we went through the Kadara vault and got up to, trouble with Reyes, as usual. And we ended off waiting for a call. Waiting for trouble to come calling. And I've reloaded into the game, and the quest has automatically updated, so we just have to speak to Sloan. High noon. Sloan has uncharacteristically requested our presence at the Outcast headquarters, so we're just going to proceed where we left off. It's just interesting that instead of waiting for trouble to come calling, I just reloaded into the game, and the quest has progressed. So here I was thinking I'd have to maybe go and do something for a while before it would progress, and all I apparently needed to do was nothing. So let's talk to Sloan, so we can proceed with settling Kadara.
Where is everybody?
I told them to get out of my sight.
What happened?
The charlatan used my own people to beat up Kaitis. He's alive, barely.
The charlatan's using Kaitis to put you on edge.
I know that. I didn't call you here for a pity party.
Why did you call me? I'm not exactly your favorite person.
The charlatan left a note on Kaitis' body. He wants to settle things between us. Meeting spot is in Drowlear.
Could be a trap.
You think? I can't trust my own people, but you're an outsider. And honorable.
The charlatans had plenty of time to act. Why make a move now?
I ignored the collective for too long. Thought they were just another ragtag group of upstarts. Now they're bold and dangerous. What happened to Kaitis is on me. I've got to end this before it gets worse. You with me?
I'll watch your back.
Kadara's fate will be decided at this meeting. I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but hey, shit happens, right? Meet me at this location. I'll go on ahead.
Okay, meet Sloan at the charlatan's specified location. Looks like we're going back out into the Badlands. And we'll see what that's all about. So I could have just probably just walked around last episode for a little bit longer, and maybe I would have got given an update. But who am I to know? Who am I to know the sequence of events of a game that I haven't played before? So there you go. Well, looks like we'll be settling Kadara this episode after all. And then I think in regards to what we want to do after Kadara has been settled is we'll probably be having a look at these priority ops where we're going to choose between either the Ramav system or the Zorbre system. Might work with Drack's concerns first. Am I biased with Drack? Maybe. Maybe I am. But what's that to you if I am? You know, maybe I want to just make sure Drack's concerns are heard and taken care of as soon as possible. Because I love him. Okay, here's the meeting point. Sloan.
Took your sweet time. Come on, let's get this over with.
I literally came here immediately.
I'm with you.
Hopefully they improve the lighting in this cave.
You look like you're waiting for someone.
What?
Reyes?
I'm here for the charlatan, not some third-rate smuggler.
Wow.
They're one and the same.
Huh.
Surprise.
What the fuck? God damn. We've been swindled.
The Angaran spy. Your interest in the Rokar murders. Everything you've done has been to undermine Sloan's power.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
You said you wanted to settle things. How?
A duel. You and me, right now. Winner takes Kadara Port.
You want to avoid war by shooting each other?
2 people shooting each other is better than a lot of people shooting each other.
I'll take those terms.
Classic. Oh, someone else is here.
His sights are set on Sloan.
Sniper! Damn it! Cover me!
Shoot him!
Two right trigger options, huh?
What the hell was that?
Damn it!
Two right trigger options back to back.
He's got nowhere to
And I took
hide.
them both.
My people will find him, then his head goes on a spike.
Damn, we were pushed into a thing. I didn't like Reyes' betrayal. I don't even know where I stand with Sloan, but I feel like this probably gains us some trust. I don't know. I could have chosen to not shoot him. Don't know how I felt about all of that taking place. That was all an adrenaline rush, which is very well handled. It makes you make split-second decisions, and you have to own them. I don't think the sniper was fair, so pulling Sloan out of there is justified. Maybe I could have held back on shooting Reyes, but I don't know. Never cross a rider.
No. No more heads on spikes, no more public executions.
Not even out of the fucking cave, and you're making demands.
You're alive because of me. It's time you start playing nice.
That's fucking right, mate.
I'll never trust Tan or the initiative. But you're out of the doghouse.
Okay. God damn. Okay, we just got some new codex entries. So let's take a read. Your relationship with Jarl has evolved into something relaxed and friendly, but you have plenty more to teach each other. Cool. You've helped Sloan Kelly remain in power at Kadara Port, forcing Reyes Vidal into exile. Sloan still refuses to rejoin the Nexus, but at least she's less hostile towards you. Let's have a look. The Collective. Few verifiable reports the Collective exists beyond Kadara Port. I think we've had this before, but it has now been updated with without Reyes Vidal, so he's been pushed into exile. Now revealed as the Charlatan, the Collective is vulnerable to reprisal. Apex reports that Sloan Kelly has already ordered a purge of Collective sympathizers. The Berserker and the Pariah. Cool names for the for all of the outlaws. I kind of like it. Sloan Kelly. Before her appointment as Director of Nexus Security, Sloan served in the Alliance, but discharged. Yeah, we read that as well. So the update is, with Reyes Vidal gone, Sloan remains the de facto ruler of Kadara Port. However, this seems to have brought little peace of mind to Sloan, who is using all available resources to hunt down Reyes and any other members of the Collective. And we've got Reyes. After we thwarted the Collective's coup of Kadara Port, Reyes has been on the run from Sloan Kelly. Interesting. So maybe that whiskey that he stole was not all that he was after all. So Sloan Kelly has now cemented her hold on Kadara Port and pledged to defend any outposts on Kadara from other exile factions. Officially, the Nexus still has no diplomatic ties with Kelly. Unofficially, the Apex bounty on Kelly has been quietly withdrawn. There you go. Wonderful. So we're going to go speak with Sloan again. So we will now travel once again back up to the port.
You were right, Ryder. Now that the political conflict is resolved, Kadara Port is growing on me. Growing like the searing pain of an infected flesh wound.
He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. Okay. Pathfinder.
Pathfinder. Come to collect on the debt I owe you?
I've proven myself an ally. It's time you start treating me like one.
You're a real pain in the arse, you know that?
I've heard that before.
But you did save my life. I know the Nexus needs outposts. Kadara's in better shape than most planets.
This is the right call, Sloan. We don't have the numbers to keep fighting each other. We need to work together.
I'll work with you, but not with Tan. The Nexus exiled us to die. I've neither forgiven nor forgotten that.
I'm not asking you to ignore the past, just to consider the future.
I get a cut of whatever your settlers produce. Think of it as a protection fee. Plenty of collectives still running around. Wouldn't want them to get ideas.
That almost sounds like extortion.
Do we have a deal?
Only because I need the outpost.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Okay. It's at 91% viability. So once we do that, once we put this outpost down, there should be a side mission, I would expect, that would then allow us to check out Kadara's architect, because this is a large enough location that there would definitely be one. So back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Let's go back out into the Badlands and settle the outpost. Here we go.
That's it.
Outpost beacon.
Calling outpost.
Lovely.
Amazing. This may piss off as many people as you manage to feed.
Director, I trust you're enjoying the show?
I'm enjoying the progress. The show part is something else entirely. Honestly, an outpost on Kadara, where the worst of our exiles stake their claim, you better be sure about this.
We can't turn our backs. The initiative failed them.
You weren't there, but you're here now, and it's your call. It's a win, and we'll take wins wherever we can get them. You need to do this again. Another step forward, but of course there's more. There's always more. Time for the public address. Think you can distill something motivational out of this?
Something to sell Kadara? You'll actually run it?
I may have concerns, but my ledger has one more outpost than it did yesterday. Sell it.
We trained for years. But when we reached Andromeda, everything changed. The dream almost died on worlds like this. But we can rebuild it. Bring stability. If there was ever a world that needed our best, at their best, this is it.
For posterity, Pathfinder. Addison out.
Addison out. Nice. Viability 100%. There we go. Lovely. Drac keeps climbing on furniture on the inside of houses. It's insane. Okay, no side missions have popped up immediately yet, but we'll see. Drac, get down from there, will you? Let's take a look at this outpost. Surely there's got to be anyone out here with a side quest. I mean, if there's not an architect, at the very least there is going to be a side mission, right? This is like the perfect open landscape for an architect. Interesting. Okay. That person looks almost so similar to the default Sarah Ryder face. Okay. Well, I mean, it's 100% viability anyway, so there you go. I was honestly expecting a side mission that would lead to an architect, but it's not there, so you know what we're going to do instead? We're going to leave. We're getting out of here, so let's head back to the Tempest and see what happens when we head back. Maybe every world doesn't have to have an architect. Haval is too small for one, so that's fine. But Kadara is like seemingly the perfect size to have An architect. I'm just running off the pattern that so far both architects have been tied to a side mission at an outpost once you've established it. So, it does not operate the same on Kadara.
We might have a problem. I was running some numbers, mass balances and such. The Tempest is carrying about 70 kilos of extra mass. I think something's aboard that doesn't belong.
Interesting.
70 kilos is enough mass for another person.
Our internal sensors aren't getting anything, but they're not as powerful as a Pathfinder's scanner. Can you take a look?
Alright. I'll look around the ship and see what I can find.
Scanning. Scan for anomalies. Alright, well, I'll take a look around again.
The hell you did? You can't just undo 10 hours of work.
I had to. Your revamp risks power imbalance between decks, something we solved back home.
It's twice as efficient. Just because it doesn't match your sainted specs.
And now it does. As you say, deal with it.
God damn it.
Callow.
I know, just please don't let this distract you.
So much fighting.
What can I do for you?
I'll let you concentrate.
You know where I'll be.
You know where I'll be. Arguing. So...
You have AVP outstanding, Pathfinder.
Are you 70 kilos? I'm surprised. I was going to say, what's the bet that Liam's fucking brought something in here? Liam's just done something wrong. 100%.
Got it. Suvi, that extra mass is behind the storage room bulkhead.
Behind it?
It looks like a construction mech welded right into the hull.
Scanning the parts has activated an audio log.
I think I know what that's about, Ryder. Come up to the bridge.
Oh. Is this Gil? Is this something Gil's done? Or is it a Callow thing? A mech welded to the... A mech welded to the bridge. Not to the bridge. A mech welded to the ship. Okay. What you got for us, Callow?
Those parts you found welded in the storage room. I recognize them.
From where?
They belong to the ship's lead designer, Lucille Diawara.
Oh.
She broke her back during construction. But Lucille wouldn't abandon her ship. She converted a construction mech into a rig she could wear. She must have welded it into the hull. Her artist's signature.
Okay.
600 years later, the power's run out. Suvi detects it.
Sam, didn't you find an audio log with Lucille's rig? Can you play it?
Sam found my construction gear then. Well done. One of you Pathfinders got the Tempest. Mason Barrow, Zevin Reka, Matriarch Ishara, Alec Ryder. You were the best of us.
Yeah, just Alec Ryder, yeah, he was good, but I'm better.
Dad's gone. Makes you wonder how many other Pathfinders made it.
We'll find out. It's what you do.
Take care of my ship and each other. Whatever is in Andromeda, you're the Milky Way to them. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep.
I never thought I'd hear Lucille's voice again.
She really cared about the Pathfinders. Enough to give them her rig. For luck.
Lucille made it a part of the Tempest. Let's keep it that way.
I'll see to it, Ryder.
Thanks. Now let's go make her proud.
Hell yeah. Character that I have no attachment to emotional statement. Let's go. That's pretty cool though. I'ma weld a big ass heavy construction mech to the side of the ship to throw the balance of the ship off course. It's fine. It's fine, I promise. Alright, from Reyes Vidal. Didn't think you the type to shoot a man in the back. I may have hid my identity, but you concealed your true nature. If you think this is over, you're mistaken, my friend. You've only prolonged the inevitable. That's what we get for shooting him in the back. From Sloan. Pathfinder, don't expect these regularly, just wanted to know I'm keeping up with my end of the bargain. Your outpost is safe from the Collective and the rest of the crazies in the Badlands. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have shot Reyes, but like I said, we make crazy decisions in the heat of the moment. And we just gotta live with those consequences. As terrible as they are. I think Liam and Jarl, yeah, Liam and Jarl are in here together.
Are the buildings at Prodromos typical houses for humans?
There's a lot of variance even within our species. Not sure I can call anything typical.
Yours, then. What did your family home look like?
I might start crying.
Is that shameful? We cry together, laugh together, sometimes fight like Adi.
Now that sounds like home.
What can I do for you, Pathfinder?
Okay, I'm just checking if anyone has any updates after we've finished with Kadara before we leave, but if Giles got nothing to say, no one has.
I got a copy of the Nexus's movie library.
Thanks. I'll look through it. It's probably all agricultural learning vids, but there might be something good. I'll keep you posted.
Okay. Movie time.
Tev Uni. A home on Vold. Sort of. Still feels good, though.
We'll talk later.
I know it.
I know it. Okay. Any crew info? Nope. Okay. Looking pretty bare bones. Lexi? I haven't spoken to Lexi in a while.
Ryder?
Oh, nothing? Okay.
I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
Okay. I'm going to go back to the Nexus because, at the very least, before we proceed to a new planet, I have picked up the memory triggers on Kadara, which has unlocked a new memory. So we'll do that. Get some more information. Potentially on the Benefactor, considering that's where we left off our memory last time. Maybe I'll have to do something else in terms of a priority main mission before we actually get a before we get updates on the Tempest with our crew.
Do you know why I asked to be placed with you?
I believe you possess an emotional impulse to be among your own kind.
More than that. I seek someone who understands me.
Complete understanding of a unique consciousness is impossible.
I disagree. It's the only possibility worth exploring.
Okay.
Ryder, one of your father's memories is available.
Memory time.
Let's see it.
This memory is from your mother's final day.
Damn.
It was a good fight, soldier.
It's not over yet.
Alec.
No.
Alec, we have a few hours. Let's enjoy them.
And after that?
We'll still have each other, but we want you.
I love you, Mom.
I love you. Both of you. Live your lives. Do great things. I see so much potential in you. And remember, fall in love. At least once. I'll let you guys talk. Say it, Alec. Say it. Then I will. Goodbye. Watch out for the kids. Be there for them.
I will.
Mourn me, Alec, but don't let this destroy you. What did you used to say when you were in N7?
When your back's against the wall, if you can't run from it, use it.
Remember that. Be strong.
Never as strong as you. I love you, Ellen.
I didn't expect that.
Death remains an elusive concept for me. A finite end in a cosmos otherwise filled with infinite possibilities.
That was unfortunately the most emotionless farewell I've ever seen. Everyone looked so dead, ironically. And Ellen is just so monotone. I'm dying. Fall in love, at least once. Yeah, that was. I was not able to get into that, unfortunately. So that was Ellen's final day, and I'm glad that we know that Ellen's character model is from the memories, because when we first saw Ellen Ryder's thing in the codex and I saw that she actually had a rendered character model, I'm like, oh no, I think as the game spoiled it, is she gonna randomly show up at some point? That's why she's has a character model. She'll Ellen Ryder survived and she made it to Andromeda before everyone, but no, she was just in memories, which is fine. It's just unfortunate because that should be an impactful memory, but it just I don't think there's any defending that, really. It just did not look emotional. It didn't feel emotional. It didn't sound emotional. Alec Ryder's voice was the only one that kind of carried a bit of emotion there. Not very good.
Everything ends. Life, stars, galaxies. They all die eventually. It's just how things work.
Yet it appears this belief serves as a form of motivation for many organic life forms.
It's why you exist. Dad hoped you could save her.
And I failed.
I never understood. With all your capabilities, Sam, why did she die?
My ability to enhance organic physiology has limitations. Your mother's disease was systemic. It also seems that life is more than just biology. It is the will to continue living. I believe your mother accepted her fate, and likewise, her body surrendered. I detect additional memories, but they are currently locked. They may yet hold answers.
Okay, I'll keep working on it.
She literally went out like Padme. She has lost the will to live.
That's all for now.
Of course.
She's having twins, Sarah and Scott Ryder. But she has lost the will to live. Alright, we have not... Looks like we need, I think, this one final memory, judging by the mission progress bar. And that should unlock the final encrypted log as well. For, I guess, the final truth. Whatever it's going to be, whether it's benefactor related or otherwise. Considering that Ellen is now out of the picture, I dare say it'll probably be benefactor related. Aladdin, a new world. Let's check it out. We've scanned the rest of the system. Now we can land on this interesting new planet and help out Drac. So there we go. An Exile Raid, Turian Arc, and Aladdin. So the Turian Arc as well is around this location, apparently. Let's give it a look.
Sam, send Callow the nav point provided by our Krogan contact. Drac, we're landing on Eladin to rendezvous with Jorgal Strux.
On my way.
On my way.
Where is this meeting place exactly?
Called the Paradise. Middle of nowhere as far as I can tell.
The Paradise.
Paradise is different for a Krogan.
Paradise in a Krogan sense of the word, but look at that beautiful looking sky though. Imagine just being able to chill and see a couple of planets in your atmosphere. Nice. Paradise. Very desert-like. Just like Tuchanka, baby.
Starship? No.
Only 41% exposed. I will gather what information I can, Pathfinder.
Wow, that's massive. Yeah, it gives me Tuchanka vibes. Just wait for this version, this planet's version of a Thresher Maw to pop up. Gotta have your massive desert sandworms. I would not be surprised. Hopefully not, but if they did it, I'd be like, there they did. They did it.
Who lives here besides the Krogan?
Scavengers with nothing to lose. Criminals chucked out of Kadara.
Gonna be interesting.
Yeah, fucking... if you're already on a fucking... If you're already getting kicked out, right, of Kadara, you're gonna be even worse. Visit the Paradise. I'm gonna change our party, so I'll get PB out and we'll probably put... I'll put Vetra in, maybe. Oh, when you're in the shade, you're all good. So, we're on a heat hazard planet now. No hat, no play.
My eyes. It's really, really bright. I mean, pretty, but really bright.
I detect above normal temperatures.
Oh no, we're gonna have Sam letting us know weather.
The second we're out on the dunes,
is
you're
normal.
dead.
Fuck.
Life support is stable.
God damn it.
She raised the water prices again. Swear I'll kill her.
Okay, swear I'll kill her. Jesus, off to a good start, are we? Oh, whoa, that is a planet size. Okay, Aladdin is a whopper. Strap yourselves in. I'll be honest with you guys, this game is really huge. Like, this game is massive. It's massive. I genuinely, if every single planet that we went on was like half the size, I feel like it would be so much more digestible. Sometimes open world games for me are quite overwhelming in their size, because there's open world games have a lot of negatives that come with them, and that's something that I felt in even good, amazing, beautiful masterpieces of an open world game that I've played in the past, is like I haven't completed everything in them because there's a lot to do. But funnily enough, like my play style for YouTube has sort of like has changed a lot, and I get, you know, try and do as much as possible, and you know, don't just like skip over a bunch of stuff, and we read everything and all of that. But I haven't really done that with an open world type game on the channel before. This is probably like the biggest open world one, because I'm not counting Elden Ring, because Elden Ring's structure is entirely different and very very manageable. Andromeda has a lot of those sort of scan these, go do these, fetch questy, collectible things that take a lot of time. I am feeling the effects of that a bit, and I think that's an unfortunate thing from a gameplay side of things. I'm definitely feeling that, and I think, again, something else to maybe think about is with open world games, it's good to take time to maybe take a little bit of a break from them as well, because there's so much to do and they can be so repetitive that to avoid that sort of reaching those feelings of burnout and, you know, not wanting to, getting to a point where you're like, fuck, I don't want to do this anymore. To avoid that, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point I end up taking a bit of like a break or a rest from Andromeda, not out of any sort of negative feelings of not enjoying it or anything, but just because there's a lot of sort of go to a planet, do a lot of busy work, get it viable. And I'll take that moment to also just sort of reassure you that it's like, I like the characters, I like the story, I like the world, I like the galaxy, I like these things. I'm very interested in how it's all going to progress and how that all goes. So there's no sort of like, oh, this is boring, I don't want to play it anymore. I just want to like reiterate that it's like, open world games are massive, there's ones that I've played in the past before YouTube that I played them over the course of like months, sometimes over the course of like a year, and I would go back to it and chip away at it and enjoy it. But like obviously YouTube is a completely different thing where I'm doing like 2 hours for the most part, approximately 2 hours every second day, and that is just the episode length. That's me cutting out all of the back and forth that I do. That's me cutting out the busy work that I do to try and show the meat on the bone. So you can imagine that it's actually like quite a lot of time for me to do stuff. Seeing the size of this world brought on those feelings, and I just wanted to address that if there's an Andromeda break or two at some point, because there's no end in sight that I can see really for this game at this point, especially with our approach to it, there may be instances where I might take a bit of a break just to kind of like refresh, and then we can come back to it and do more of the same. I feel like that might be a realistic thing. I don't know if I would do that soon. I don't really feel a burning desire to put the game down. I just wanted to kind of address it, that I like it might come at some point, because I don't know how far we are through the game. I think that there's a percentage in the save screen actually. It says game completion like 45%. I don't know if that is like the story or the game itself, but I guess that's at least a little nice indication that maybe when we are reaching like a 50% mark, that's when my brain is starting to go, well, maybe I should have a break soon. So I might do that, and I'm sure that there are a lot of other open world games that are quite massive that I would probably do the same for. So it's not just an Andromeda issue, I think it's an open world issue, because whenever we play like a single player linear experience, it has much less episodes, it's very straightforward, it's kind of an enjoyable ride all the way through. There aren't those feelings of burnout, but when there's open world quests, it's an entirely different thing, you know? But we will settle in and probably have a break at some point. I don't know when, but the fact that we're at level 37, Chad Ryder's at level 37, and I think you can get up to level 80 according to the research stuff so far. I think there's like stuff that unlocks at level 80, and I'm like, who's got to still be killing enemies and doing anything else at level 80 at that point? You're gonna be like ruler of the galaxy if you're that high up a level in this game. But you know, it is what it is.
Hey, I recognize your insignia. You're Nexus, right? A Pathfinder. Kent Halsey, Nexus Security.
Must be a reason you're here. Is there a problem?
Not with the Nexus. This is a personal matter. My sister Isabel fell in with the wrong people. She joined the rebellion and was exiled to Kadara. Somehow, she pissed off enough people to end up in this hellhole.
Your security and your sister's a troublemaker. Puts you in an awkward situation.
I don't care about that. I'm here to find her. I know she can't come back to the Nexus, but we can start over on Kadara, together.
You're a good brother, Kent.
Don't congratulate me yet. The problem is, I underestimated this planet. I don't have a vehicle or a way to survive the heat. I'm stuck before I've even started.
Guess like I'm cleaning up your dirty work, because that's just what a Pathfinder does.
Don't worry. I can track Isabel down for you.
I hoped you'd say that. I think the salvager from Kadara has info on her. She wouldn't give me anything, but maybe you can get her talking.
So much to do all the time. Look at this Krogan gang.
Ship you got there. Need someone to watch it?
Furious and gritty scavenger. Who's the one in the middle then? Who's he? Who is he? Whoa. So bright over here. Oh, damn. The paradise.
Those are water towers. The colony here gets all its supply from Aeneia.
I'm going to head over to the forward operating station first because I need to change my crew. I'm going to have Vetra instead of PB.
Activating automated forward station deployment. Mining zones in this region are available, Pathfinder. I've added them to your nav system.
Thank you, mate. Alright, loadout. No, not the... No. No, no.
So, Eladin. Charming so far. What do we got? Besides the sand.
The remnant monolith suggests this was indeed supposed to be a golden world. It also suggests the presence of a vault. Additionally, here is the large derelict remnant ship that we saw as we landed.
Hopefully abandoned?
Scans indicate it is not. The site is active with scavengers and remnant bots. Here, scavengers have taken over an abandoned camp between the two. In this direction, located in one of the planet's sinkholes, is New Tuchanka, the Krogan colony.
New Tuchanka.
Sinkholes. Sounds fun.
Not really. Eladin is tidally locked to its sister moon and that gas giant above. This side of the moon never cools. Getting trapped in a sinkhole without shelter would mean certain death, as one's blood would boil in 75 seconds.
Nice. New Tuchanka.
And on that cheery note, let's head for the climate-controlled paradise of the Nomad.
Amazing. Okay, loadout. Veteran. Which is also a very good opportunity for me to level her up, because I have not leveled up I've not leveled up my other teams that I haven't used. This is literally just damage resistance bonus when in cover and when not in cover. Okay. Let's do concussive shot and turbocharge. Beautiful. Interesting that Liam's loyalty mission has come up so quick, but we haven't had a peep on anyone else's yet. But I guess that might change after this planet with Drac. That's kind of what I'm expecting. Okay. Let's stay in this area for now before we branch out to giant world map.
Hey, hey! Welcome, welcome. Come this way. Follow me.
Okay.
That's a fancy ship, all right.
I'm not going to follow you. I'll find my own way, thank you.
It's a fair exchange.
Why? Because you say it is?
Partly. I wouldn't be in business if I wasn't fair. If you don't think so, go trade somewhere else.
Okay, I will.
Okay. Fair enough. Always kind of surprises me when you see, like, Angara just chilling around so much. They seem pretty well integrated with everything.
Shushing me. Strux should be leader of New Tuchanka.
Don't have to be so loud about it, Saul.
He's from Clan Dragal, and you and me, that means something.
You're right, Betcha. Just need the colony on our side.
Are you Jorgal Strux?
Maybe. You who I think you are?
I'm the Pathfinder from the Nexus. You asked me to meet you here?
Yeah, I did. Thanks for coming.
We do value the Krogan, baby.
Losing the Krogan was a big deal to a lot of us in the Initiative. Some of my best friends are Krogan.
That's right. I didn't want to leave the Nexus, but I needed to support my people and my clan.
So, trouble at the colony?
It's heading to a bad place.
We can't be there anymore.
Morta's become a tyrant.
Did she kick you out?
Hasn't come to that yet, so we're laying low. I want to keep my eye on her. She's planning a strike against the Nexus, that much we know.
Drac trusts Morta, and I trust Drac.
Hearn, Morta's leading the colony for a reason. She's tough, but that's good. You're not there, Drac. Morta is going to rip this colony apart. And then we're all going to die.
Krogan dying? Your homeworld's worse than this place.
Everyone needs food and water, even Krogan. Morta's rationing. My group thinks the Krogan should make peace with the Nexus.
Krogan should make peace with the Nexus. Oh, this is going to be a dilemma. We have to see what Drax's thinking compared to the rest. Krogan should make peace with the Nexus, though. Does make sense.
We need the Krogan, and the Krogan need us. We all came to Andromeda as one. We should at least try to fix this.
Well, there won't be a colony to make peace with if Morta ruins it. You don't believe me? Go to the Krogan colony yourself and see what she's planning. Talk to Ravenar Brink. He's one of us, on the inside.
If the safety of the Nexus is really on the line, I'll go. Better hope she doesn't shoot me on sight.
Yeah, that'd be a bad omen.
So it seems like, you know, what the planet Kadara that we were just on, you choose between who's going to be the power on that planet. Between Sloane or the Charlatan and the Collective. And then on this planet, you're going to be choosing whether I guess you want Morta to be the leader of the Krogan, or maybe this other dude, and then that's going to have outcomes later on depending on, you know, how things play out. So we'll see how things play out. So parlay with the Krogan, go to the Krogan colony. Let's speak with Valonia for this side quest.
Well, well, look at you. I'm good at reading people. Want me to guess who you are?
Shoot.
A Pathfinder.
What gave it away?
How'd you know?
I cheated. I run salvage to Kadara. Word travels fast there. Should hear what the Collective is saying about you.
Literally everybody I've ever spoken to immediately identifies me as a Pathfinder, no matter what. So it's not very impressive. I'm sorry. Ooh, you're in the Collective.
I take it you're a member.
I don't take sides. That way when a fight breaks out, I always win.
What's your take on Eladin?
If the worms of the gang leaders don't kill you, the heat in Ataraxia will. I don't know how anyone can live here.
Somehow they make it work.
Barely. At least once a trip, an escaped slave or ex-cultist tries to bribe me for a ride out of here. Except the Krogan. I've seen New Tachanka. We'd all be lucky to have a setup like theirs.
So it's pronounced Eladin, but the way that it's written, you'd think it would be Aladin, and it would kind of hang on the A a bit, considering double A. But Eladin feels like if maybe it was E-L-E-D-E-N, Eladin, kind of, I would read it that way. But the way that it's written is very interesting. Isn't English a funny language? Everything is pronounced so weirdly all of the time. I'll try and get used to Eladin, but my brain just wants to keep saying Aladin, just because of that double A.
You said you run salvage to Kadara. How does that work?
The scavengers come from Hell's Promise to sell me their scraps. I pay them next to nothing.
Charming. Then what?
I haul my loot to Kadara and sell to the merchants. Sloane takes her cut, naturally, but mostly I make a killing. Sometimes I even buy water from Ania and sell it at a premium in the flophouse. It's a solid life.
If you say so. You must deal with the scavengers a lot.
No more than I have to. Slavery, cannibalism, gang leader worship. It's enough to make my skin crawl.
I plan to keep my distance.
Smart. But it's not just the gang leaders. The ones in the Paradise are dangerous too. This is supposed to be a neutral zone, but I don't trust the scavengers to follow the rules.
Got info on someone named Isabel Halsey?
What am I, your personal database?
You have info, I want it. Talk.
I don't know anything. I only heard her name mentioned. A group came through here to sell me that day's salvage. They said something like, Isabel's time is limited.
Is that it?
I don't get caught up in scavenger business. Bad for longevity. But if you want to find these guys, I have their nav point. Here.
Thank you.
Ever work with a guy named Reyes?
Reyes? He's one of my buyers, actually. You know him?
Used to. Know where he is?
Haven't heard from him in a while, actually. No one has. For all I know, he's living it up on the Nexus.
Imagine that.
Take it easy.
Always do.
Okay.
What are you looking at?
What are you looking at, mate?
To be honest, I'm curious about what's going on here.
What's going on is none of your damn business. Keep walking, or I'm gonna shoot out your knees.
Okay.
I thought the rule was no guns.
That won't protect you outside the gates. If you see me there, you better run.
Pathfinder, is it necessary to engage with this individual? I don't see how it helps our cause.
Right. Let's just back away slowly, guys.
Wow, the stories about Eladin are true.
You can see his,
Ryder, I heard that little exchange. I don't understand it. They screened every initiative applicant. How did so many of them end up violent and unstable?
humanity.
You think something's up?
That's what I want to find out. Can you scan the scavengers here in the Paradise and transmit the data to me? And, you know, be discreet.
Ooh, imagine if there was a signal that was sent out specifically to, like, resonate with particular individuals amongst the humans, the Asari, Krogan, all of them, that sowed the seeds of, you know, distrust and then caused infighting. I wonder if it was like a Ket psychological tactic, maybe. If there's an actual scientific explanation for it when, you know, everyone in the initiative was screened. But yeah, you can see his eyelashes behind the fucking visor. So you can see him blinking. No guns, except for the gun that I have. Who's threatening who, mate? Who's threatening who? I'm the one with the weaponry. So scanning scavengers in Paradise and in Paradise Sands. Okay, luckily there's not any when I zoom out that far. Scan them.
Wow. Be careful around that one, Ryder.
Brain chemical imbalance. Brain chemical imbalance. There could have been like a leak in certain cryopods in a weird way that damaged their brains on the way over to Andromeda.
What are you looking at?
That one didn't work. Try someone else. Fascinating.
Brain chemical imbalance, okay. We have a bit of a running theme, apparently.
5? Or you want to score big?
Twig. If it's not an active side mission or one of those blue exclamation marks on my map, I'm probably gonna try and not talk to you.
Interesting.
Brain chemical imbalance.
Nice gun. Where'd you get it?
And then it turns out that they're just evil. Oh. Ooh, what's down there? Ezo. A little tucked away bit of Ezo. Are they on the roof? Of course they are. Where else would they be?
Thanks, Ryder. That should be enough. I'll analyze this and let you know what I find.
The mind of an exile. Okay, there is, yeah, there's brain chemical imbalances. So, it looks like we have a whole wide world to explore. Tasks and memory triggers and all sorts. At least the memory triggers are close by. Let's get to work, shall we?
I've analyzed the scans you sent me. I found something odd. Each scavenger's neurons were firing at an abnormal rhythm.
What does that mean?
It's only a theory, but I think some people are more susceptible to complications that can happen during the cryo process. Their neural paths were altered in cryosleep. It's not curable, but I've developed a serum that should subdue the symptoms. I left it at the Paradise. When you pick it up, I'll tell you what to do.
Okay, so it is like a cryo sleep issue. Something happened during cryosleep. So it's not like it's not the enemy. It's not the enemy, you know, trying to do something, which could be like a valid, you know, a valid thought or theory, you know. But more so something that's just a, you know, a technical issue, an error. But what are we going to do? Just what we should do is we put it in a bunch of airplanes, shoot the serum out as like a misty rain over everyone, and they can all be cured.
Subject, but we need a good candidate. Scan the scavengers at the Paradise again. I'll tell you when I see a potential.
Don't make me scan people all the time. So much scanning, dude. I wish that there was a better way.
Nice gun. Where'd you get it?
If we didn't have a fucking scanner, we'd be screwed.
There. He's perfect. You'll need his permission to administer the serum. We won't force it on him.
You sure this is safe? Hey there.
Don't know what they told you. I don't have nothing.
I just want to give you this medicine. It might make you feel better.
Feel better? Haven't felt this good in years. I don't want your blasted medicine.
Your mind regressed in cryo. This will bring you back.
Bring me back to what? Scraping and bowing to the initiative? For the first time in my life, I'm free. And damn, it feels great. Just leave me alone. Leave all of us alone. We're happy just how we are.
Ignorance is bliss, baby.
If you don't want to be cured, I won't make you.
Good. Now get out of my face.
Alright.
Well, that was a waste of time. If these exiles really don't want to change,
there's nothing we can do.
I'll see if I can organize trials on the Nexus. At least we can prevent this from happening again.
Out of the way just in time.
I love the mentality of, oh, we spoke to one singular individual and he didn't want it. So let's use that as a blanket statement to say that none of the exiles want it. And go, oh well, we tried. We spoke to one person and they weren't very keen.
Life support restored.
Pack it in. Pack it on in. Good job. Oh, God. Alright, best we can do is probably head in the direction of monoliths, which would be nice. So let's head in this direction.
So wait, you're Kesh's father?
Grandfather, actually. She tell you about me?
Not exactly. She did used to swear up and down about a stubborn old fossil, usually while hitting something.
Stubborn old fossil. She's called me worse on a good day.
Ryder, are those scavengers dismantling the remnant tech?
That a problem?
It is if they get their hands on a remnant core. It could become unstable and attract the Scourge.
How do we stop it?
Beats me.
Pathfinder, I could modify your Omni tool to disable the cores and prevent them from reacting.
Do it. Let's go fix this.
Oh, there's a bunch of them. Oh, I'm also got an electrical hazard, and that has just destroyed my life support. God damn it. Silly me.
Life support failing. Seek safety immediately.
Yep. I know. Okay. God damn. Well, my life support's fucked, so, time to just run you over instead.
Remember that last push before the Arcs left? All that activity.
I love that Vetra's just having a chill conversation right now.
I got hit by a power loader. Driver was on 3 calls about where to store rations. Punched it right in the gyros.
Good place to put a forward operating station for when my life support just turns to shit.
Mining zones have been added to your nav system, Pathfinder.
Perfect.
Environment check. Temperatures are within acceptable parameters.
Okay. back into the fight.
Pathfinder, there is still a risk of the scavengers damaging remnant cores. I suggest using your Omni tool to disable the cores.
Watch the grenade!
Ooh, look at that barrier. Nice.
Grenade!
Get burned alive, baby. Still going. Still more. There's actually a lot of them here. Go,
Life
it's
support is back online.
Okay.
I detect above normal temperatures.
Oh god, am I gonna... Okay. You're not gonna just let me do this in peace, are you? We good? We good? Make the remnant cores inert. Go on. I'll have to be careful because of the fucking scourge. Is there an alternate way up? Nope, this path also has a bunch of it. Do I just have to grin and bear it? Yeah, it really doesn't want to. It really doesn't want to get onto that platform specifically. Please, I'm begging you. Yep, hang on. Look, it just won't get on that one. Doesn't like it. Okay. Oh, that didn't actually damage my life support at all. I thought going through it fucks up your life support. Oh well.
Pulling out the fancy move.
Good. That should do it.
Pathfinder.
Shooting me through the pillar. Good move.
At additional remnant sites.
They never make it easy for me. Let's go to those other sites.
Felt that in my bones. Where's that chest at? Like right on top of it. It says it's above me. These fucking containers got great shit in them, but goddamn are they hard to get to. Ah, there you are. There you are. Okay. So now apparently we have to scan other remnant sites for the same thing. How fun. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck? What in the world is that? It looks so weird. What the fuck? It's like a remnant worm. See, I told you there would be a fucking sandworm. I told you there would be a sandworm. Except it's not a sandworm at all, it's a remnant worm. That's one way to have a worm-type enemy in the desert. I knew it was coming. That's fucking bizarre. I'm just doing the rounds on trying to get my... I'm just doing all the forward operating stations. Just so I can have the dream of fast travel. But what the hell? So that's definitely coming up later. That's definitely coming up later.
Oh, shit.
Stasis pods from Ark Natanus.
Are any of them alive?
It's difficult to obtain a clear reading on all pods at once. We should investigate.
Okay, so we've got to scan the stasis pods for the Turian Pathfinder. So this is the Turian Ark, which is really cool. And what's good about this is I think we'll probably be able to return to Avitus Rix as well, because it's been mentioned that there's some useful information from him to talk to him about. So we will make a note to return to Avitus. Probably after this, I expect, to be honest. God, that pariah. That energy drain did not work how I wanted it to.
No life forms detected, Pathfinder.
They're all dead.
Sam, we should have Mason's genetic profile in the initiative database. Let's check it against the pods.
Yeah, but he won't be here. Unless there might be a glitch with, like, Sam transferring. Am I in the right area? I am in the right area. Where the fuck are the stasis pods at? Ah, there we go. All in a row together. There we go.
Subject is too old.
Subject is too old to be a Pathfinder.
Subject is a child.
Okay, thank you.
Turian, but not their Pathfinder.
This one? Oh, it's a paladin.
Perhaps a distant cousin.
Okay.
Reading negative. Too many variations in the genome.
No comments on that one? Okay.
None of the pods match Mason Barrow, Pathfinder.
Hopefully that means he's still alive. Help me get it open.
Pathfinder, the body has no vitals.
Okay.
Sam, check the pod's history.
According to the final log, this stasis pod was jettisoned from Ark Natanus.
Maybe when it hit the Scourge.
The timeline doesn't match. This pod was ejected long after Natanus was reported missing.
We assumed the Ark was destroyed, but maybe it's intact. The crew could still be alive.
And dumping colonists in stasis? That's worse.
We should update Avitus. He'll want to know what we found.
There we go. Contact Avitus. Via the Tempest comm. What if we go see him directly instead? We could just go and see him directly instead. What do you think? Let's head back to the Tempest comm and we'll talk to him. But then I think we'll also take, while we're on the subject, before I forget, we'll head back to Haval and have a chat to him, because apparently he's got cool backstory stuff. Avitus Rix.
Ryder, I was just about to call you.
Everything all right?
I've got numbers, coordinates, flashing in my head. I think it's an SOS from Mason.
I wonder if that's possible, or whether Sam has transferred to him unknowingly already.
That's quite the leap.
Just hear me out. What if Mason's using my SAM implant to send me his location?
We did find evidence that Natanus may be intact.
What evidence?
A bunch of stasis pods were jettisoned from the Ark. No survivors. But the logs show it happened long after Natanus hit the Scourge.
Someone's still flying the damn thing.
Scourge or not, colonists were ejected from the Ark.
There must be an explanation. Here are the coordinates for my implant. Meet me there. We'll find answers.
Okay, so he's going to move he's going to go to the nav point. I might have missed my opportunity to have a chat to him then in that case. Or we'll still be able to talk to him. If not, you know, that's just the way that the cookie has crumbled. Looks like in the Ramav system, we have the Turian Ark. Ark Natanus, next to that new world that we've got to go to. I think we just found our first Ark, or the remains of it. So this is the coordinates flashing in Avitus Rix's head. Fucking hell, there it is. Wow.
That's the Turian Ark. It's seen better days.
Incoming call.
Pathfinder, I think we're on the right track.
No kidding. Is it safe to board?
Only one way to find out. I'll meet you inside.
Tempest sensors show severe damage to all sections of the Turian Ark from exposure to the Scourge. Due to hull instability, moving the Natanus would be ill-advised, but it should be safe for a recovery team to extract the remaining stasis pods. So, 20,000 currently, detecting 15,372, inactive. Docking bay. Okay. Bringing Vetra and Drac with us. So Vetra, being Turian, probably is good to bring on this mission.
Limited power. Life support's busted. Surprised there's any gravity at all. This can't be easy to see. I'm not really a feelings type of guy, Ryder. Even so, let's just find Mason. HO47C. It was supposed to be the Turian homeworld in Helios.
They were so close. They were so close.
Whoever was piloting the Ark wanted to get here, no matter the cost.
Even if that meant jettisoning entire sections of the Ark.
It doesn't make sense. Come on. Speculating won't get us anywhere.
But weren't they supposed to link up?
This part of the Ark survived.
Looks can be deceiving, Pathfinder. The hull is barely holding together.
Thanks, Sam. Always a ray of sunshine.
Right. That makes sense.
You could provide analysis via the scanner, Pathfinder.
So, yeah, right. I remember now from the beginning of the episode, beginning of the series. It's been a little while now. So, every Ark goes to their designated planet. They're like, wow, so habitable and beautiful. Get set up, and then they go, cool, now we can go check out the Nexus, which is going to be the next Citadel. That's why we went to Habitat 7 first, and then went to the Nexus after. Would have just been such a nicer and smarter plan to all enter the galaxy and meet at a point, say the Nexus, have all the Arks meet up at the Nexus, link up, and then go, cool, we're all together, we all made it, now let's branch out, see how we go from there. Instead they go, fucking let's just throw you in random points of the Helios cluster on your own, on defenseless, non-weaponized vehicles and say good luck. I think the Andromeda Initiative was rigged from the start, because that is such a stupid game plan. Like, how would you not... It's just the classic, let's split up, gang! And they fucked it up. Captain Dia Prayton, from Mason Bari the Pathfinder, full report attached, but our new home's going to put Palaven to shame. Mason, what did I tell you about sending me science crap? Unless it's got charts and pictures, it's all gibberish to me. You and Rix fix up for drinks after the goodbye party. I've got a special bottle of Horosk. I don't want just anyone sampling. Now, with more charts and pictures. As for drinks, we'll be there. You know how much Avi loves his Horosk. Okay.
Locked. Needs power to open.
Something's gotta still be online in this wreck.
I wonder if there's people even alive here, too.
Hey, this door's still got power.
I wouldn't open that, Pathfinder. It leads to space. Perhaps you could divert the power to a different door.
And this is why we have Sam. He's like, it leads to space. Alright, let's get this shit set up.
Power has been diverted, Pathfinder.
Dead plant. This plant has been neglected. I wonder why. Cryogenic stability update. Just received confirmation. With the exception of the leadership and life support teams, all passengers have entered cryostasis and are sleeping soundly. Jacana is on her way up now, way up to you now to oversee the closure of your pods. If you haven't changed into your uniforms, do so now so that we hit our departure time. Once everyone is asleep, I will do one final round, then join you in the abyss. No one tried to jump ship. Don't know if I'm impressed or nervous. Everyone's that confident in the mission. Don't stay up too late, Rix, or you'll be an old man by the time we reach Helios. Jacana said it was fine if you oversaw my pod closure. I know I said I wouldn't go against procedure, but I want your face to be the last thing I see in the Milky Way. You can scold me when I enter cryo.
This one's still got juice.
Looks pretty busted. Think your Sam can get us in?
Only one way to find out.
I found a log from Dia Prayton, the Ark's captain. The video is corrupt, but I can recover the audio.
Play it.
Something's tearing Natanus apart. Half the cryo chamber is gone, trying to get anyone awake to the escape pods. Spirits, there's no time. Find Mason.
Dea was abandoning ship.
She wouldn't leave unless the situation was dire. Natanus didn't get here on its own. We need to know what happened next.
The rest of the data on this console is corrupt. Perhaps if we find another. Or the Ark's SAM node.
Alright, let's keep looking.
No shit. There's a SAM node on every Ark as well. Sam's talking with between Sams? Where the fuck did you just go? What the fuck? What the fuck? Drac. Jesus.
This one also needs power.
Maybe we can use the same trick as last time? Divert power from something else?
Oh man. This door looks like it'll open.
Well, we're not going that way.
Okay. It opens, but at what cost? Okay. So, diverting power from that one. Oh man. This game relies on scanning too much, dude.
The door should now be operational, Pathfinder.
And it's not over yet.
Avidus, over here.
There's still life in this one.
Sam, how are we doing?
Mason, bring it back.
The video's corrupted on this one, too.
What about audio?
Repairing now. One moment, please.
We're going to find him, Avidus.
Mason, he's more than the Pathfinder to me.
Playing audio now.
Sam,
Romance.
300 meters.
An easy stroll then. Damn it! Maybe not so easy. Where's the rest of it?
That is all I could recover.
Damn it. He was looking for your pod. Do you remember anything before waking up on Havarl?
I told you. My first memory was clawing out of my stasis pod.
Then we keep looking.
Find the SAM node. Divert power to this door. No? Good. But, we're gonna do something. That door's not opening. Oh, this is the SAM node. Yeah.
We've gotta get in there.
Because that will be that'll be the private quarters. I just realized it's the... As soon as I enter this hallway, I'm like, I've walked through these holes before in my arc.
Should now be accessible.
Ooh, I'm curious.
Sam, where's the Pathfinder? Where's Mason?
Avi. Commence. Stars.
Avi. Isn't that what Mason called you?
He's the only one who calls me that.
My counterpart is suffering from severe trauma. If I partition the damage, it may be able to speak with us.
Be careful. I don't want to lose this Sam because we rushed for answers.
Avitus Riggs. Welcome home.
Ooh.
Sam, Mason sent coordinates to this location. I need to find him.
You are mistaken. I sent the coordinates.
The Sams have different voices. I think the voice sounds more like a Turian voice. So each Sam has like a voice that's like more like relative to the species it belongs to.
What do you mean you sent the coordinates?
The Pathfinder ordered me to help Avitus find a home for the Turians. I located our destination, HO47C, then sought out Avitus.
Why would Mason do that?
It was his last request.
This thing's still busted. It doesn't know what it's talking about.
We should have access to Mason's logs. Maybe there's something in there.
Abby, whatever we hit, a piece of it shredded my suit. Stings like hell, but spirits, it's beautiful. I need you to go on for the both of us. Don't let that temper get the better of you. Sam, commence transfer.
Yes, Pathfinder.
Even the stars look brighter.
He died before the transfer was complete. That must be the source of Sam's trauma.
Why bring me here? What was the point?
To complete the transfer, the Turians need a Pathfinder.
I can't. What do you mean you can't?
I never thought I'd get the job. My whole career, I worked alone. I don't know how to lead people. I don't want to lead people.
Well, then what happens after that? I was thrust into it as well. Like, I'm fucking around. My dad died. Like, fucking, come on, man.
Avitus, I've seen you protect settlers. You found the Turian Ark.
Used to be a Spectre.
You've already been playing the part of Pathfinder. Just without the title.
A title that belongs to Mason.
Which he wanted you to have. Rejecting it won't bring him back.
What if I let him down?
You could only do that by walking away.
Believe me, man, my character fucking knows. My character knows.
Suvi, call Tan. We need a shuttle to pick up the SAM node. Tell him we found the Turian Pathfinder.
God damn, we found the Turian Pathfinder. He's with us all along. Yeah, I didn't think he was going to survive, but there was that interesting way of being like, well, Sam hasn't transferred yet, so I wonder how they're going to do that. So I think it's really cool that and really interesting that they were able to do it with a an interrupted transfer. An interrupted transfer. Well, that arc is not heading back to the Nexus anytime soon.
I don't believe it! Gil's reconfigured our entire nav array. O'Connell risked a dozen spacewalks putting that in place. Damn it!
Callow, don't.
Take the helm. I've had enough of this.
Ooh, escalation.
You don't give a damn what my team and I went through to build this ship.
No, I don't.
I care about us surviving out here, and if that means redesigning...
You don't have the right!
Alright, let's talk this out. What's going on?
I'm doing my job, and he's undoing it because... Hell if I know.
You weren't here. We had to get all kinds of new tech working in a single starship. 50-hour shifts, epiphanies, accidents. Humans can forget. Solarians can't. To me, it's all still happening. My team is here. Stripping down the Tempest like some broken radio risks everything they suffered to build. Their legacy.
I can see how you'd feel that way.
Seriously? Look, Callow, your people did a great job, but they're dead. And they couldn't have anticipated half the problems in Helios. Like the Scourge. If we don't adapt, we'll die too. Is that what you want their legacy to be?
Gutting a complex ship out in space isn't adapting. It's irresponsible and disrespectful.
The problem is they are both right. The problem is they are both right. Gil is improving for our current conditions. Callow doesn't want what was already created to be changed. But this ship was built for a specific reason. Gil, you can just build a new ship if you want.
The Tempest has too many new systems doing new things to just adapt on the fly. If we make changes, let's make them carefully and with respect.
She's your ship. I just hope you know what you're doing.
Ryder, I know it's not... Thank you.
Okay, it's over. Let's get back to work.
Just fucking everyone watching. Everyone taking a peek. They're like, ooh, drama on the Tempest. Drama on the fucking Tempest. Okay. Well, in regards to the Turian arc, that's done, I suppose. We just need to go back to the... I think we'll go back to the Nexus. Look at that. Arc Natanus. There it is. So when we plugged our arc into the Nexus, it gave the Nexus power, but I believe it didn't give it like all of the power ever. It just gave it enough to kind of get some operations and stuff happening. So like, is it better if like, you know, I thought that meant that you were supposed to get all the arcs plugged in, you know, to the Citadel to supply it with a whole bunch of power, and then it would also, that would help its efforts into becoming like this galaxy's Citadel. But it seems that because the arcs are most likely, the rest of the arcs are most likely fucking destroyed, that is not going to happen. It's all very bleak. It's all very bleak. Because we're plugged in, right? And then there's like there's a section for each one. The Asari, Turian, and Solarian arc. Can't believe the Krogans don't get an arc. As usual. When will it be the Krogans' time to shine? I'm pretty sick and tired that we're in a new game, in a new galaxy, and the Krogans are treated exactly the same, and we have the Krogans getting kicked out, and we have to go to New Tuchanka and be like, hello Krogans, I like and respect you. We like and respect you. Let's achieve peace. And the Krogans are just like, no, because we're retreading the same ground from the Mass Effect trilogy. It would have been really nice, I think, if the Krogans had a different part to play than exiles and outcasts, and you know, the enemy, in a sense. You know, imagine if like we had a whole new chance for the Krogan to be like more front and center in some other things. You know, that would have been a really interesting way to do it, I think. But unfortunately, They're just kind of relegated to the same... they're just kind of relegated to the same thing. Of they're kind of cast out and looked down upon by everybody else. And that is... it's just a shame. It's just a shame to me. Lance has no recharge time, but consumes shields when used. Ooh, that is risky as hell. That is risky as hell. Extra damage and extra force is probably what I'll go through, because as much as you could just throw lances to your heart's content, I use it as a detonator, so I need pull anyway. So we're going to max out our lance ability. There we go. Okay, so let's have a look at where we need to go. We'll go to our own... We'll go to our arc. Check in with Sam node. We don't have a quest happening right now, but I'm under the assumption that going back here, we should have some updates, and then we'll have to figure out where the fuck Avitus is as well. No quests showing up. But I do have... I did collect the rest of the memory triggers as well on... sorry, how do we say it again? I've already forgotten it, because I keep going to say Eladin. On Eladin, but apparently the quest is on hold.
Am I correct that it's within your power to vent the station's atmosphere and kill the organisms aboard?
Apparently it's on hold because we still haven't been able to unearth the final encryption yet. So that's just basically code for play the game more and unlock it later.
My programming would only permit that under the most extreme conditions.
Exactly what would those conditions be?
Why do you wish to know?
No reason?
Yeah, okay, no reason.
Welcome back, Ryder.
Okay.
That's all for now.
Of course.
Maybe... There's so many quests that it just is such a headache for me to even look through this list, man. I think it's done. I thought there would be like a follow-up. I wonder where Avitus must be somewhere on the Nexus itself then, I assume. Somewhere. So, unfortunately, I can't find Avitus anywhere. I don't even think he exists. I think he's just straight up disappeared. So I even tried reloading a previous save before we went on the mission just to see if he would be here on Haval in the camp as well, and he's not. So even before we'd proceeded with the Ark mission, he's gone, unfortunately. So that is a bit of a shame that I did miss out on that one, but I have tried to at least see if I could fix it. However, that'll bring this episode of Mass Effect to a close. We have discovered the Ark Natanus and found our new Pathfinder, who will get the transfer complete with Sam, which means next time we will be returning to Eladin to make that planet viable and make it habitable and put an outpost down. You know the drill by now. Every time we go to a new planet, we smash it out, we get an outpost down, 100% viability, we move on to the next one. So that'll be our next mission. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.